Joining me now from Washington, D.C., member of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, founder of the Congressional Religious Freedom Caucus, and congressional candidate for Virginia District 7, Tina Ramirez. Tina, religious freedom, something you have championed now for many, many years. Religious liberty and the freedom to practice whatever religion you want, in many regards, is a uniquely American concept that certainly doesn't translate to all cultures across the planet.
You're absolutely right. It's great to be with you today. And like the president said, in most cultures, this is a foreign concept. And we can so easily take this for granted in our country. But in most countries around the world, the First Amendment doesn't exist. And so, as you said, I've spent the last 20 years fighting for this freedom for all people around the world. And I've traveled to over 30 countries doing it.
How do you go to the Middle East and build in religious liberty, outside of the Muslim faith?
Well, in every context, regardless whether you're in the Middle East or around in India or anywhere else in the world, we all share the same desires for freedom and liberty. But they can't access it because they're told they're born into a faith and they don't have the freedom to choose or to think differently. In America, we have the freedom to choose and to choose what church we want to go to, what mosque, whatever, but there that doesn't exist. And so one of the things that we start out with is a basis of every person is made with inherent human dignity and has the freedom of conscience to believe and to think critically about all of their choices in life, and that also relates to their religious beliefs.
Very difficult when you run into ideologies like Islam, because it is more than just a religious practice. It's also an ideology, and in some cases it's been radicalized. I don't want to go off on that tangent too long. I want to talk about Virginia District 7, which is the seat that you are running for in the Old Dominion state west of Richmond. Median income about $77,000, not bad. It's a Republican +6 district, yet it is represented by a Democrat, Abigail Spanberger. Liberty score, by the way, if you're keeping track, Tina, of an F, 7%. Spanberger was swept in on the 2018 wave, the takeover of the House of Representatives by the Democrats. Why? Why did this happen in this district that leans so heavy Republican?
Well, look, like you said, this was a bad year for Republicans. It was an election year, and it was just a bad year for us. But this is a conservative district. 8 out of the 10 counties that she actually lost, the rural counties. And yet the difference was really in the suburban women's vote. And so we've got to pull out that vote. We've got to pull out our conservative voters as well.
She's got a 0% rating on civil liberties, Spanberger. A 0% rating in terms of her voting record on civil liberties and the Second Amendment. Virginia, last I checked, is the home of the Second Amendment, including the rest of the Bill of Rights. You have been pretty prominent in your support of the effort in Virginia right now in terms of these sanctuaries that have been declared all across Virginia, trying to protect their Second Amendment rights. This is something that's passionate for you?
Oh, absolutely. This is something that we've been really aggressive throughout our campaign on the Second Amendment. Back in the summer, Virginia's Assembly wanted to have a special session just on guns. We got the Washington Post to do an article on this. We challenged her on it. We said we don't need red flag laws. And we got Abigail Spanberger on record. They posted, Abigail Spanberger's all in on gun control. So I don't think that's doing her any good right now in Virginia, because there were over 100,000 people that showed up at a Second Amendment rally at the state capitol last month that I was a part of. And it was amazing. And they're all standing in defense of their Second Amendment rights. Look, we do not need any new laws, and we don't need to change the laws that we have. What we need to do is get the government out of this, because Virginia is just fine without them.
You support what the president is doing in most, if not all, of his policies, especially, for example, the deregulation process, that he's been doing a tremendous job in terms of getting, for example, the EPA off the backs of businesses that are trying to just simply open up or possibly expand and maybe hire more people. You support the president in his efforts to shrink the size and scope of government?
Oh, absolutely. I support the president completely. He's doing a great job, and it's been amazing to see throughout our district the impact it's had. Look, the farmers in our district, that's a huge part in our district, they are doing better because of the deregulation. The businesses, the small business owners, I happen to be one myself, we are doing better. Trump's economy and the impact that he has made a difference for families like mine, for families across the district. This is the impact he's making on the ground, and that's why he's going to win re-election. But look, we held an anti-impeachment rally for the president back in September, right in front of Abigail Spanberger's office, and we're fighting hard to protect him and support him all that we can.
For folks who would like more information, your website is TinaRamirez.com. TinaRamirez.com. You're part of Super Tuesday, I believe, for the presidential process, but your actual primary for Congress is later in the year in June. Is that correct?
So we're actually having a convention for the Republican nomination in my district, and that will happen on April 25th of this year, so just in a couple of months. But if people want to support me, they need to get out right now onto my website and sign up so they can be a delegate at that convention, and I would love their support. All
right, so Virginia Super Tuesday for president, and then you have the delegation going on in April, and then, of course, in June. So it's TinaRamirez.com. Tina, thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.